Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. And boy, do I have a special project for you. I think you're going to enjoy this. It is from Johanna Bosford, Magical Jungle. Beautiful, beautiful book. A lot of us have it. It is an older book, but oh my gosh, it's just an oldie but goodie, and there's still a lot of great stuff to color in it. It's just never going to go out of style. Okay, so let me move this. The piece that I'm going to be coloring on is this. And if you know me by now, it's not going to be just a coloring of this and the flowers. I'm going to be showing you how to eliminate some of these black lines to change it up a little bit. And I'm also going to show you how to add some extra flowers after it's changed up with the lines. And then I'm going to color it. And what I'm thinking right now this could change, but I'm looking to do a translucent disc so that we can see through the back of this. I think it's just going to be a great project, and I hope you're excited to follow along with me. The trick here is don't give up on the project early. I need you to watch what I'm doing, because you know me. I add little extras, I teach little extras, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so let's get coloring. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need you to pull this page also from Johanna Bosford from your book. And if you don't like to pull your pages out, then just turn to that page. That's what we need. And then what you need is a piece of tracing paper. And if you don't have tracing paper, that's fine. You can grab it, but I highly suggest that you do, because it's useful for a lot of projects. It really is. And then the last thing you're going to need, other than your colored pencils, well, you're going to need an ink pen, and I'll show you that. Let me pull you in so you can see this. And I've shown this before. It's the 0.28 Uniball Signo DX. I bought a package of 10 of them from Amazon, so I've got them up the wazoo. I love them. I use them all the time. They're great. Very good quality. All right. So what the plan is, I'm going to transfer a couple flowers from here to there, and then I'm going to open up the edges a little bit by removing some of this black line. And the special product that I have to do that, if you don't have it, don't worry about it. You can get a hold of it at a later date, is this Winsor & Newton ink, white. It is absolutely the best for eliminating black lines off of various coloring books. Now, obviously the page needs to be white, which this is. It's white enough. And the really neat thing about this stuff is when you use it and you eliminate the black line, it absorbs into the paper so that when you run your finger over it, it's not even there, and you can completely color over it. You wouldn't even know, basically, that it's there. And you can blend over it as well. That's the really neat thing. So I'll be teaching on this later. So lots of stuff going on, guys. I can't wait to show you this. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove whatever is hanging in front of my camera. There we go. And what I want you to do now is go ahead and take your tracing paper And using I use a 7mm Pentel pencil. It gives a really great point because it's got that sharp point. That's great. Lead is very soft, so you can do these transfers without any problem at all. All right, so let's get tracing. Now, the neat thing is Johanna has been teaching people how to draw the various things that she draws in her, I suppose it would help a lot if you were on camera, in her books. So if you can draw this by yourself without tracing, have at it. But for all of us other people, me included, I have to trace. Now let me see what we got here. Change that just a little bit. The thing that I really like about this pencil is it allows you to be very precise. And when you trace, you do need to be as careful as possible. Take your time. Okay, now I'm not going to trace that little wiggly thing. I don't know, I may change my mind in a second. Hold on. Let's see, so I've got this and this. And you know what? I'm going to put a little heart on the top of that. I think that would be cool. Now, I'm not going to trace this double line that's on this little puppy, but I am going to trace a single line. So I'm going to trace that bottom line here. And actually, one of the reasons that I'm doing this, truth be told, is I'm not good at keeping lines evenly spaced apart. So, having said that, if you can keep them evenly spaced apart and you want to trace both lines, go to it. I tip my hat to you. Okay, so we've got that whole flower. Yay! And that's all I want is this flower. All right. Then I want, because there's two of these, I want this little guy. Which actually does look very similar. I'm sorry, my mistake. I want this guy. There we go. So this is going to be a little more tracing. Don't forget to turn your pencil a little bit while you're tracing because it keeps that puppy sharp. And it makes for a lot better trace. Now, if you want to zip through the video till I'm done with this is fine. That's fine. I will refrain from giving any tips other than what I've just told you. That is, turn your pencil, take your time. Oh yeah. Oops, got a little wiggle in there. That's all right. Looking good. Beautiful. Okay, so now I've got two of these floral patterns that I like. All right, so one of them I'm going to go ahead and put down here at the bottom. So let me pick my direction here. All right. And then what I'm going to do is just basically take my pencil. Now, take the pattern up into the bar here, the bar that's going around, and I'll explain how we're going to use that later. And my apologies for being off camera again. I am so sorry. Basically, I just flipped over the tracing. And now I'm putting pressure on the pencil lines that I drew in, okay? And like I said, take it into the bar. And we can always erase, which I will be doing. And I'm not going to be worried about that stem that I put in. There you go. Okay, so let that sit for now. And then I'm going to take this little guy here, this fluffy guy, and I'm going to put him up here in the right-hand corner. And don't worry if it goes over the edge, either on the bar that goes around this drawing, okay, or over the edge of the page itself. I may just work to keep it all in here. Okay, so about there. All right. So this is where I decided to put it by moving it around a little bit. I think I'm going to put it about there like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil, and instead of tracing each individual and I'm just going to take a number 2 pencil to do this. I'm not going to burn up my mechanical pencil. But instead of tracing the individual petals, I'm going to go ahead and color this in. And basically, if you're not familiar with this method, it's just leaving the graphite that's on the tracing paper onto the coloring paper. You're just pushing it on there. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull that up, and there she blows. Good stuff. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and trace just because I can. One of the designs that's already here. Take your time again to do this. And what I'm hoping that you see here now, if you've never done this before, is that you can take any element on the page and replicate it by tracing. I'm going to put a black dot in the center. There we go. And now I'm going to take that little puppy next to this flower, and I'm going to put it right, let's see, think about this. You really want to watch your placement here. Let's see. Ah, this will work much better. So I'm now in the upper right-hand corner where I put my previous flower, which is right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and trace this. And again, it doesn't have to be super accurate because all you want to do is get that pencil there. There you go. There you go. And we'll work our magic later on that. And I got just a little bit of a pencil smudge here, so I'm going to get rid of that. All right, and one more little change that I'm going to make. And again, guys, this is nothing big or exotic. It really isn't. Is I'm going to take my compass because I want to bring this, see this oval circle right here, is I've got a compass. I've used this quite a bit. Got it at Walmart, and the reason that I like it is because it takes a standard pencil. So I'm going to put that right in the middle of my circle. I'm going to match the circle that Johanna has put on here. And it looks like that it's off just a little bit, so this isn't an exact circle. That's okay. We'll fix that. Don't worry about them being off. That can be corrected in a little bit. And there is a reason why I'm doing all this with the pencil additions, is because it's going to make for a beautiful, beautiful effect. Now, I assume that Johanna had made a complete circle, so I'm guessing that when this book got published that it got wonky, which is fine. I'm just going to very, very lightly connect those. There we go. And then what I'm going to do, if you want, you can take a straight edge to do this, is I'm going to extend that circle out here. Beautiful. Okay, let me pull it out and show you. So we have a floral, let me put the top up here, excuse me. We have a floral addition here, extended the circle here, added 2 more floral additions here. And this is going to allow me to show you how to remove those black lines with this ink, this white ink. And this should be giving you ideas for other drawings that you have in other coloring books that you might have wanted to change something and make it look really cool. All right. Let me pull you in. And now what I'm going to do is take my, grab a piece of paper here. Is take my ink pen, my narrowed line ink pen, and watch how I do this. All right, so I want this flower to be on top here. So all I'm gonna do is continue the line, and I'm just literally drawing over the pencil. Okay, and I'm stopping at this flower because I want it underneath this particular flower. So all I'm doing now is I am inking in the flower onto the paper using the trace line. Very straightforward. Take your time. And the really neat thing about this is if you want to change something while you're doing this, you can, because remember, your bottom line is in pencil. So if you wiggle off of your pencil line a little, no biggie, because you're going to erase this in a second when this ink dries. There we go. All right. Oh man, that is so neat. Okay, so let's work on this circle a little bit. There's the inside of the spoke. And then I'm going to do the outside. There we go. And I did have a little bit of an oops, and I will correct that later. There we go. And this will look a lot better when I erase the line that's under it. Like right now, it looks pretty jagged. All right, there we go. And again, I'm just letting this dry. So let me go back to my other corner. I want this little flower on top of the major wheel. And again, the line's going to look a little thick because it's on top of pencil. Don't let that throw you. And what I hope that you are seeing is that you can draw in extra pieces in your coloring books. And then I'm going to go ahead and color the center black. Okay, so now we've got that added. Let me pull you out. And I'm going to do this last flower. Take your time, folks. Oops. A little bit of a oops there. Fix that later right there. Let me pull you in. Now you can see I narrowed down this one leaf, and that's where I was saying is if you see something while you're drawing over your pencil, you can go ahead and alter it. I'm going to extend that leaf right there, okay? There we go. All right. And then I've got this little center to do. And then I've got my little circles to draw. There we go. And again, I'm going to let that ink dry, but I'm now going to go back to my original corner here that I did. And very lightly with my eraser, I'm going to erase my pencil line. And you will see how crisp and sharp this comes out. There you go. Isn't that neat? And then I'm going to erase over my wheel. Had a little trouble with that, but you know, that's okay. Can fix it. There we go. And you'll see how I fix this in a moment. There we go. Okay. Now, I believe my ink is dried here. If it isn't, we're both going to be surprised. Very, very lightly I erase. And you can see how beautifully this is coming out. It looks wonky at first when you draw it over the pencil, and then when you erase it, it does. It comes out beautifully. There you go. All right, now I'm going to show you one more thing so that this video doesn't get too long. Let me find the tools that I need. So I'm shaking up my paint, and this is what I want you to watch because it is absolutely phenomenal. I'm thinking that some of you have already used this and know about it, but for those of you that don't. All right, I have a very fine-tipped, inexpensive paintbrush that I got from Walmart. And this is what I want you to watch. I'm going to do it on this flower. So I'm going to dip my paintbrush into my ink. And then I am going to paint right over my line. And if you accidentally paint over a line that you want, of course you can just draw that back in. And here's what's going to happen. This paint, and I've tested out several of them, will dry, and it'll dry into the paper. And when it does that, I will be able to run my finger over the top of it and will not even feel it. Now I've got a little bit there that I got to draw back, draw back in. That's fine. Now, I had a little trouble drawing this wheel. I'm going to leave that sit because I have to repair it, and my apologies. I will fix that. So I'm going to go over to my other flowers, while that first one dries, and with the same paint, let me pull you in. I really want you to see this, is I'm just going to touch up that flower tip. And again, that paint will completely absorb in when it dries. And the more fantastic thing about it is I will be able to color over it with colored pencil, and you will never know that that paint's been there. Look at that. Isn't that neat? And of all the paints that I tested, there were 8 of them, this one performed the best. And so that's why I'm showing you now. All right, so let me pull out. And that's still drying, so I don't want to touch it. Now I'm going to go back over to here. If a little bit of your line still shows, no biggie, because remember, we're going to be coloring over that. But all you have to do is just take 2 seconds and touch it up. There we go. And again, I'm going to be redoing that wheel. I'm disappointed with the way it came out. So what I'm going to do, and this will be a good way for you to see how effective this is, is I'm literally going to paint over the lines that I put in to correct this. So my story is I screwed up the wheel on purpose so you could see how it would take care of a bigger job. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. And trust me, by the time that paint dries, it'll be absorbed right into the book. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why this stuff is so neat. Because it will open up a whole world of potential edits to other colorings that you're doing. And like I said, I will fix this so it's better next time. Okay. So what I want you to see now is we have extra flowers that have been added on top of this wheel. And once I start coloring this, then we can do some really neat things with it. But see what I mean about this paint absorbing in? That's why you're still seeing a little bit of this line, and sometimes you have to do a second coat, a teeny tiny second coat, because the paint absorbs in and then it doesn't interfere with your coloring. That is the really neat thing about this. All right, so let me now pull out and show you, get out a little further, this entire hoop. Guess we need to go a little teeny tiny more. So that you can see the additions to this page and how neat they look. And that's what I was aiming for, guys. Okay? So I'm going to end the video so it doesn't run too long. And by the way, this paint just cleans up with water. All you have to do is take a paper towel that's damp and just wipe it off. See, it's completely off now. All right, so let me put the lid back on. And the next time, on the next video, I'm going to be coloring all this. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this transparently and make a nice little hoop out of it. And I'm going to look into putting a little dongle on top there. I think we're in great shape. All right, guys, this is ILene Vick for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Hope you learned something. Have a great day. Bye.